Well, hey everybody, now it's the day after. I'm curious to see, I'm sure some of you have downloaded it and have started flying. I'm hoping that it worked out good for you. So I am obviously in the sim right now with the latest sim update, not the beta any longer, but the official public release of sim update 10. Just checking my flight uh, surfaces here, starting up the engines. Now, here's some big differences for me right now. I'm not using the OpenXR toolkit. I've actually uninstalled it from my computer. And if you've watched my videos, I've been using the OpenXR toolkit as long as I can remember, as long as it's been out, or at least as long as I've known about it, which has been a while. So I'm not only not running it, but I've uninstalled it. Two, all my world updates, except for Japan, because I don't want to waste space on a place I probably won't go fly, but I may put it in anyways. But other than that, all my world updates are installed. So that's another big change. Another real big change, I've never seen any of this stuff. I've never flown in a setting with the options on to see this kind of airport vehicles and everything. So that's kind of neat, seeing some of the jets. The other big thing is because I don't have OpenXR toolkit running, I can use DirectX 12. So I am now flying DirectX 12. I have done 3 flights with it and no crash to desktop at all. That's the first time ever. So I am flying DirectX 12. Level of detail is 70 for terrain, but everything else is up on high. The performance has been pretty good. Now, I'm not really going to get into settings too much because the Nvidia Driver hasn't been released yet, and that Nvidia Driver is slated to have optimizations for the Nvidia, the DLSS, and so forth. Overall, it's performing pretty smoothly. Again, the driver should make a big difference. At least I sure hope so, after all the hype. But yeah, like I said, so for me, there's been some major increases here into what I can do with my sim right now. DirectX 12, a lot of detail up high. My OpenXR toolkit, I'm not even using it. And like I do with every update, I did try Earlink and the link cable, and they still suck. Sorry, but they still stink on my computer. Now, I'm not saying that's the way it is for everybody, but on my Alienware with the Ryzen 9, the RTX 3070, 32 gig of RAM, the system I have, the link cable and the Earlink don't work for beans. They're awful. They're just completely awful. So I'm sticking with SteamVR and Virtual Desktop. Now, they've both updated recently as well. But I'm very happy with the performance, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen when we get the Nvidia driver. So I really do hope that you guys are getting some good performance increases or boosts now that you get the Sim Update 10 officially. And if you have an Nvidia card, which I can't imagine why you would watch my videos if you didn't, because my settings wouldn't help you. But you get that DLSS option now available to you under anti-aliasing. In some cases can double frame rates. And I know that my frame rates are usually over 40. Now, of course, now I can't check it because I don't have OpenXR toolkit. So there's no way to check it. Now, here's the biggie. What can I read in my cockpit? Darn near everything. I can read all the small numbers. I can read the small, all the numbers on the RPM, the manifold pressure, the fuel gauges over there. I can read the numbers on all of those. The radios, I can read all the numbers. I can read all my frequencies on the radio in the center. I can almost make out the POIs without leaning forward, but if I lean forward, I can see them. I can actually read what it says on my breakers down there. Again, never happened before, never could do that, so it's got to be the DirectX 12, I'm sure. But my cockpit right now, what you're seeing on the video as you're watching this, and it looks crisp and clear, is exactly what it looks like in my headset. I can read all the small digits. The scenery looks great. The buildings look good. Yeah, it's I can't wait for the driver. This is going to be awesome. Now you saw there's a couple little stutters, and I can't figure that out yet, but it's related to my USB devices somehow. And I went into my settings to keep them from falling asleep, but like when I hit a button on my USB on my Bluetooth keyboard, it's like the first hit has to wake the keyboard up and it stutters the sim, and then the next hit of the key hits, and it's kind of the same with the mouse. So I don't know what that is yet, but that's not sim related. That's my hardware. So when you see that kind of like large skip like right there, that's me either touching a keyboard or an input, and it's for some reason causing that. But yeah, it's going smooth. The planes are working good, and I mean I can see my glide slope. I've been on it for a while. The red over white, I'm all right. I've been able to keep that on sight from pretty far back on my approach, and I came in really slipping because I needed to lose a lot of speed, but without losing altitude. I didn't want to point my nose down, so I did some slipping. And yeah, I'm very happy with it, and I sure hope you guys are. Looking forward to the driver, and then we'll really see what we got going on out there. That'll be nice. Well, I can't blame that crash on Microsoft. My battery in my headset died. Should have had it plugged in. Oh well. I walked away, but I think my plane's going to have to get some new propellers here. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, and keep watching for when the driver comes out. We'll see you in the skies.